Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of Dawn and upcoming Season of Worthy Intel. And I hope you're all enjoying Crimson Days. It's an interesting event, to say the least. A little anticlimactic, I will say, though. But hopefully you got your bow. It was super easy to get. All you have to do is maybe fire up a Nightfall, and it's done. Kind of interesting that we didn't actually have to do the Crimson Days playlist in Crucible to actually get the bow, but Bungie has their ways of doing things. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about right now. Because there is 24 hours left, guys, to do this farm that will just get you every god roll available in this particular set of loot. I'm going to get to all that information in just one second, but first, I just want to remind everybody, I'm still doing the giveaways on my YouTube channel. The next one will take place at 20,000 subscribers, which is crazy to say. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway or any other giveaway on this channel is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell, right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They're linked in the description box below. And as always, guys, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll have a secret word you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, guys, this stacks between all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and do it again. Alright, so for anybody who doesn't know what's going on in the Destiny community at present, maybe you've been living under the rock, maybe you just haven't gotten back around to playing this game this season because you figured everything was sort of done and seen, but as many people might know who have been keeping up to date, as I have, there is a particularly interesting farm that is going on in the game currently. Now, this was, I think, intentional by Bungie. I don't know if they realized how well the community would utilize this farm, but what this farm essentially does is allow you to instantly farm out any of the weapons bounties from any of the obelisks in a second. And this kind of revolves around one of two things. One being the tower obelisk, and two being this guy. Good old Spider is back at it again with the great loot cheeses. He has been just a well of cheese over the course of the last year or so since Forsaken's come out. I can't think of any other vendor that I've been able to utilize in interesting fashions more than the Spider. And just a couple of days ago, there was a farm that allowed you to basically trade legendary shards for planetary materials. I can't remember what it was then. I think it was data lattice. And trade data lattice in for glimmer. Well, it's back. They took a day off, and now it's back again. Today we can trade simulation seeds for legendary shards, legendary shards for simulation seeds, and then trade that in for glimmer. Now, why is that important? Well, if you max out your glimmer, or are able to max out your glimmer very, very quickly, which is about 240,000, I believe. This is a great exchange rate, by the way. You can then head on over, or head back to the tower obelisk, and buy the light-infused fractaline. If you don't know why that's important, then, well, you really have been living under the rock, but I'll explain it again. Light-infused fractaline allow you to rank up your planetary obelisks in a second. So, why is that important? Well, when you rank up your planetary obelisks, they ultimately reward you more fractaline at the beginning of every week, so every Tuesday. Based on your resonance rank, which is culminated or increased by turning in fractaline or light-infused fractaline into the planetary obelisk, increases your resonance rank. Your resonance rank ultimately translates into 1,000, that's right, 1,000 of fractaline per week that you will receive from the tower obelisk. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important for this reason, because once you turn in every 100 fractaline in the tower obelisk and make a donation, which is ultimately contributing to the community event, as well as your personal fractaline score or whatever for the season, you can actually buy planetary bounties, and every single 100 that you turn in, which is basically one click on the turn in button at the Tower Obelisk, you complete 25% of any weapons bounty from any of the obelisks, planetary obelisk or the Tower Obelisk. I say both, but you can acquire all of these from the Tower Obelisk, so there's no real reason to go to any of the particular planets. They're all there. And in certain cases, like with the Paradox, you can actually acquire 4 of these or higher, sometimes 7 bounties in one particular go-through. And then turn in 400 Fractaline, and boom, you have 4 to 7 bounties done. So this has its benefits just on the whole onset of the ability to farm out a ton of XP, sometimes up to 70,000 XP single turn-in, very, very fast. So you could max out your rank super, super quick this way, if that's something you're trying to finish up this season. But you can also farm out a ton of weapons. So if you're looking for materials, because you're obviously going to be getting a lot of materials back when you're dismantling weapons that you don't want, you can also basically curate any god roll that is offered from any of the obelisk weapons. And there's some great ones. Bygones is in there, obviously, as I mentioned, the shotgun. The hand cannon, I've heard, is actually pretty good. I think Fallout Plays did a video about that, and he said it's a pretty good hand cannon, so you might want to check that out. But you can see how the potential is there to use this for many, many, many really fun things. And finish out your season on a strong note. Maybe you're lacking behind this season. Maybe you just were bored with this season and you've essentially kind of given up. But if you had the ability to just sort of finish everything in a day, which this pretty much allows you to do, you would do it. So that's why I'm telling you about it. As I said, it's quite a bit of fun, and you can get essentially any weapon roll that is offered. And the thing that you're going to want to focus on, because I'm sure that this is going to be available several days over the course of the rest of the season, I'm sure it's going to be offered several different times. So if you're just a casual player and you only have maybe a few minutes every day to check on one particular thing in Destiny, the thing you're going to really want to look at every single day is what Spider is selling. Is he offering any planetary material in exchange for legendary shards? And can we cash that planetary material in for Glimmer? Because any day that that's offered, it's already been offered 2 out of the last 3 days, you are going to be able to farm out a ton of not only materials, but bounties, XP, god roll weapons, the whole 9 yards. Obviously, you can continue to contribute the light infused Fractaline to the planetary obelisks to continue to rank up, because it'll ultimately be more rewarding at the onset of every week, because you'll just have that much more that you can use to get this particular farm done. So you can see that if, say, you rank up your planetary obelisk to rank 50, you'll be getting 25,000 Fractaline at the beginning of the next week, and each 100 Fractaline that you turn in at the Tower Obelisk will account for 25% of a bounty done. So 400 Fractaline out of 25,000, it's a pretty small drop in the bucket, if you ask me. Think about how many bounties you can get done. You can actually calculate how much XP that's going to be. But I'll leave that to you guys to do it, because, well, don't want to do math in my head while I'm talking to you. A little easy math I can do, but that one, just figure it out. Leave it in the comment section. Might be an interesting comment for other people to read. Amount of how much is 25,000 Fractaline worth in XP. It's a cool thing to figure out. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys, as far as the information is concerned. Hopefully, this kind of rounds out all the information that you might need in accordance with this season as a whole, maybe, but also the obelisks, the planetary obelisks, the tower obelisks, the difference, how light and fused Fractaline is best utilized, how the donations are best utilized, and obviously what it all builds to towards the end. Because beyond just the community event, and I think there's a personal triumph for turning in so much Fractaline, this really will give you a huge head start coming into the next season, because you'll have so many materials. Think about how many legendary shards, masterwork cores, as well as just god roll weapons and XP that you'll be able to get using this. Even though the XP doesn't transfer over, it might be a good time to see how high you can actually get as far as your artifact rank or your power level. You know, maybe you can actually hit 999 power using this method. It's definitely possible, and it's probably the fastest way of doing it. So another thing to keep in mind. And for today's secret word to leave in the comments section, because we're talking about it all the time, and it's the basis of everything in this video and pretty much everything at the end of the season, talking about obelisks. So leave the word obelisk in the comments section down below to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And as always, guys, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you next time. Little.